A very warm welcome back to the channel. So I'm very pleased to see that Kate Moss has spoken out as to why she defended Johnny Depp during this trial. And it sort of underpins a lot of the things that I've said whilst commenting on this trial, because I've said that these issues affect a lot of people. And particularly when somebody is called into question within the trial in terms of evidence and what's been said. And of course, you remember that Amber Heard had said that she thought of Kate Moss and the stairs incident, implying that Johnny Depp had either had done or attempted to push Kate Moss down the stairs. And so she came forward to testify that that was absolutely not the case. And so when someone comes forward on these issues to speak out and to tell the truth, which will become important in a moment, it's really key to hear why they do that. And I know that this trial has affected a lot of people, and I've spoken about it a lot because of the cases that I've been involved with, where I've spoken to clients who have been at the butt of false allegations, and there are still people today that don't believe that false allegations are possible, but very much do happen. So, of course, as I said, I'm very pleased that Kate Moss has spoken out about this. So, moving as I read in CBS News, Kate Moss speaks out on the dangers of the fashion industry and defending Johnny Depp. And so this ultimately, she's talking about her history and her experiences in the fashion industry, which sort of underpin why this was an important issue for her, and ultimately why she's spoken out about this issue. So just very briefly on this, from this article here, she spoke out about her experiences as a teenager, exposing the dark side of the fashion industry. I'm reading for this first paragraph here. And why she defended Johnny Depp in the recent legal battle with Amber Heard. Now, many people might wonder, why, first of all, why is there a link between these two? Well, I'll suggest, even before going through the article with you, I'll suggest that people's experiences lead them to one cause of support or another. For example, when people go through a difficult litigation or even a criminal case or something like that, very often that's what leads them into a career in law. We had a litigation many years ago, which we've spoken out recently over on Easy Chinese Cooking. And if you want to hear about that, I will link that video in the description below. So when people go through these experiences, they feel compelled to change course, change their way of thinking, and pursue a certain line of truth. And that exactly appears what's happened with Kate Moss here. So Moss goes on to talk about when she was scouted at the age of 14 on an airplane. She said she was about 15 when she was at a photo shoot for a bra catalogue, and something just felt off. So even at such a young age, people can still sense the truth of what's going on here. And so this is the experience that underpinned what now seems to be her sense of commitment to the truth. She says, he, the photographer, said, "Take your top off." And I took my top off, she said, and I was really shy. And then I could feel there was something wrong. So I got my stuff and I ran away. Going on to say that this experience sharpened her instincts. And she could tell a wrong-un, which is someone who's done something wrong in British speak, a mile away. And so, again, just underpinning that the experience makes you look for someone that's done something wrong. Now, just as a complete aside, when I was very young, I would see people bullied, and I would see people trying to bully me. And it gave me an absolute razor-sharp sense of right and wrong. And I would not stand for people getting away with doing something wrong, and I would not stand for admitting to something that hadn't been done. I've spoken about that in previous videos, but I will digress too far. So moving back to the article, she said, "I cried a lot, explaining how she felt uncomfortable and that she didn't want to take her top off. She was really self-conscious, and yet they said, if you don't take your top off, I'm not going to book you for L." Going on to say it's been quite difficult and quite painful to revisit those experiences, and of course it is. It doesn't matter how many years later it is. It's difficult to relive experiences like that. Even going on to say when she was selected for Calvin Klein in 1992, she said she didn't have fond memories about that either. But all of which coming down to her sense of right and wrong. And so coming down to the real heart of this article here, All of this leads her to say the following. She says, I believe in the truth, and I believe in fairness and justice. I know that John Galliano is not a bad person. It was a designer that she defended for anti-Semitic comments, and then says he had an alcohol problem, and people turn. People aren't themselves when they drink, and they say things they would never say when they're sober. I know the truth about Johnny, she says. I know he never kicked me down the stairs. I had to say the truth. So again, when someone has the truth within their knowledge, against the background of these experiences of unfairness and injustice, it is nice to see that somebody as prominent as Kate Moss would, against all of those experiences, against all the difficulty of coming out publicly to testify and to speak up for what she says is the truth, it is very reassuring that people are prepared to do that. Because, as I say, this trial has touched a lot of people. It's opened up a lot of issues for people to talk about. And lots of people that deny that false allegations are ever made need to face the truth that sometimes they are made. And even though within this trial it gave Amber Heard the due attention that she wanted to address these allegations and to talk about these allegations, it gave her weeks of testimony from lots of different people, from experts included, and everything was aired and deliberated and ultimately came to a unanimous verdict. But it also goes to show that when evidence is brought in, which can be rebutted vis-a-vis Kate Moss and the stairs, that it can be rebutted, but this can only serve to show that potentially Amber Heard was just betting on the fact, and maybe her legal team were betting on the fact that Kate Moss may not come forward to testify or would not be allowed to come forward to testify. But with the rules of rebuttal evidence, a rebuttal witness called specifically to contradict what has been given in evidence, of course she wouldn't have been able to do that had it never been brought up in the first place, but indeed it was brought up, and so she was brought in willingly as a rebuttal witness. So not only did she come forward to give evidence to rebut those comments and that allegation that involved Kate Moss, but now she speaks out again to the media to say why she's done this. And as I say, this underpins everything that I've said about why so many people are talking about this trial, because these things happen to lots of people. And from my perspective as a lawyer, and from someone who's gone through litigation, and as I mentioned earlier, we all have our own story as to why we come to the bar or why we become a lawyer in the first place. That was exactly one of my reasons. I felt that we were involved in litigation and we had to change representation partway through, and the change was dramatic. And so I realized that this was a service that lots of people needed, much like the reason for this channel in the first place, because my reason for becoming a lawyer in the first place was through our experiences and my desire to help in that regard. And then when the pandemic hit and everything was locked down, I decided this was the opportune moment for me to reach out and to help with this channel. So take it from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate when you watch, you like, you share, you comment, and you subscribe, because that means that I can help more people with just everything that I've learned, which is just knowledge that I've garnered from all corners of research and other people that have kindly helped me along this path. And that is ultimately what I see Kate Moss doing here, against the backdrop of her experiences, bringing forward to help someone, because that's what she could do. So I am pleased that that's happened. I'm pleased to see these articles here and to see the reasoning behind why she came forward to defend Johnny Depp. And just to reiterate that again, moving back to the article just once more, this is a CBS News article. I believe in the truth, and I believe in fairness and justice. I know the truth about Johnny. I know he never kicked me down the stairs. I had to say that truth. So I hope you found that interesting and enlightening. I hope you are as pleased and thoughtful about it as I was when I read that. So please, as I say, do like this video and share it with somebody that you think might benefit from any of my videos. I know I've done lots of these Amber Heard videos of late, but I have, I think, well over 1,000 videos by now on all sorts of different areas of law that you might find interesting, not just Amber Heard trial talk as well. So lots of different videos in my library, all sorts of different topics. Please do check some of those out. There's a whole variety of playlists down there. Go check them out. Please do subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, thank you very much for watching.